Now, you've also talked about foreign intervention. Clearly, in the run-up to the 2016 elections, that was a significant issue, one we were all aware of, one that the Obama administration did not respond to particularly effectively or very quickly. This time around, we haven't had as much news about that. A little bit on Russia and Iran in the last week.
We have confirmed that some voter registration information has been obtained by Iran and separately by Russia.
Though frankly, not egregious activities if we see at least what we found publicly. And very interestingly, in the last few days, President Putin himself seemingly helping the Biden cause by saying Hunter Biden's not really a big thing. We want to engage in arms control, if Biden comes in. Has this played out to a lesser degree than you might have expected a few months ago?
Well, a couple of things. Number one, I think the goalposts have moved. We know from intelligence reports that were reported in the New York Times that the Russians have done what they did in 2016 in terms of breaking into state voter registration databases. Now, not necessarily doing anything to change any of the data on there, but that itself can undermine people's confidence in the election. We know that the Russians and others have been engaged in disinformation campaigns, just like they were in 2016. So I think the news is just so flooded with things happening every day that in a normal world, these things would be major news. They would be, on the front page of the New York Times for days. But yet there's, with the coronavirus and everything else going on, it is something that is just seen as just another thing we have to deal with to get through an election during the pandemic. And in terms of Putin's latest comments, I think when you've lost Vladimir Putin, I think Putin is hearing the polls as well. And I take this as actually a hopeful sign, because I think it means that one of my greatest fears, which I talk about in Election Meltdown, which would be a cyber attack emanating out of Russia on the power grid during an election in a swing state, is somewhat less likely. So that's a little bit of relief. But it's still a lot of interference in our election.
Yeah, certainly if Putin is a week in advance of the election trying to say that he would want to have good relations, constructive relations, if Biden were president, a massive cyber attack by the Russians against the U.S. power grid would tend to undermine that strategy, yes?
Yes, but there are, of course, other countries that also have designs on messing with the United States election. So I'm not completely relaxed about how Election Day is going to go. I'll be happy when we're through Election Day.